This is probably one of the craziest places I've been to in a very long time. Now this is a very special moment for me. I am at the Arctic Circle.
You can probably see the Aurora behind me here. Hey Jake, so reindeer sausage for breakfast?
Reindeer sausage for breakfast.
Man, that is one of the cleanest bathrooms I have ever seen.
Hey there! I'm clearly not in my studio, and I am in the great state of Alaska. I'm gonna be doing a 1-week trip around the state with my buddy Jake Sloan. He's gonna take me to like all the coolest places. I'm gonna take all of you along with me. But before we get into that, I just have to have a huge thank you to B&H Photo who made this trip possible and is sponsoring this video. They've been so supportive of the channel in so many different ways, including being able to send me on a trip like this and share my experience with all of you. So the other part of it is I love shopping at B&H personally. So if you're looking to pick up some camera gear, please check out the affiliate links in the description for the gear that I use on this trip, but also all the gear that I use on a regular basis. So big, huge thank you to B&H Photo for making this possible. Now, I am gonna be traveling around with the Canon R5 Mark II, which is what I'm shooting on right now, and I'll be able to test it out in a whole bunch of different situations because we're gonna be doing a lot of different kinds of activities, a lot of different scenery, and I got a couple surprises for you, so that should be pretty cool. All the footage will be on the R5 II, except for some of the vloggy bits. I'll be using my DJI Pocket 3. All right, let's go.
So basically within 24 hours of getting to Alaska, Jake takes me out in his friend's helicopter here to this beautiful glacier behind me. I can't explain how cool this is.
All right, Lee, what do you got for me?
This is a piece of Columbia Glacier ice pop.
Okay, okay. So Lee is one of the coolest ladies I've met in a long time, besides my wife, of course. But she took us out here in her beautiful helicopter. So this is actual glacier ice. And
from my favorite place in the world,
yeah.
Columbia. Oh, you bit it.
So Jake, we just landed in, I don't know where we are, but I don't even know how you even capture this. This is, I have my camera and I don't know where to point. I don't know where to point it. Like,
yeah,
you can't capture the scale of what we're looking at here.
No, it's really hard, especially when you're out in front of a glacier like this, which is miles and miles across. And even at this point, we're pretty close, but it's still more than a mile away. The only way to do it is to put something in the frame that we all know kind of how big it is. So that's why I always wear a red jacket. If I can get myself in the frame, then you can kind of understand. But even in a place like this, like, it's just next to impossible because it is so huge that you really can't show off the scale in any sort of video or photo, even with a drone. And pieces keep falling off.
Yeah,
a lot.
And we're actually standing what would be underwater right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this at high tide, this would all be underwater, which is why these big pieces of ice you see around behind us are on the ground, is because they were basically left here high and dry when the tide went out. And these are all pieces that have come off the glacier, either here or over there or over there or over there, like basically all around us.
something really interesting happened on this trip. I started taking photos. That's right, I started taking photos. I never take photos. Most of you know, you watch this channel, I just basically only shoot videos, but there were some moments that I felt more like a photo than a video, and was having a lot of fun with it. So there'll be some photos mixed in here. Some of these moments were just absolutely incredible. So after getting back to Valdez, we hopped into town and got a quick bite to eat. And while we're waiting for the food to get made, I got a little chance to test out the low-light performance of the R5 II.
All right, so day 2 of going up in the helicopter with Leigh. Leigh and Jake are getting ready. It's gonna be awesome.
So we just landed up here on top of the mountain, and there was a lot of clouds when we landed here. There's also a lot of bugs here. I set up this time lapse here to see the clouds clearing off of the helicopter.
So this has been my first experience flying around helicopters before, and if you've ever done this before, you know how cool it is, but having done a lot of hiking before, it takes you just a long time to get to places, and we're going up and down these mountains here, and it's just crazy because we can fly around for just a few minutes, find a cool place to land, and just get to explore. And these guys, they're doing like, you know, drone and FPV and stuff, and, you know, just hanging out and just wildlife and beautiful stuff everywhere. There's beautiful views all the way around. You can't really see behind me right now because there's a lot of clouds, but there's a beautiful lake over here, just absolutely magical time. So as I'm hiking down to this lake here, check this out. So we're down at this beautiful lake here, and these guys are over here just making vertical content. Social media influencers in the wild. Look at these guys.
Yeah, where you have a landing spot over there?
All right, so there's some mountain goats over there on that mountain there. They're tiny. So what I got here is the 100 to 500 with the 1.4 teleconverter, and I'm also in crop mode because they're just so far away.
So after landing in Valdez, Jake and I made the trek back to his place in Anchorage, which is about a 300-mile drive. And along the way, of course, we got some beautiful views of Mount Drum and a great opportunity to use my RF 100 to 500 to get some beautiful long shots here. And of course, we got a beautiful sunset along the way as well. So after getting back to Anchorage, we had a quick sleep and hit the road again to drive up to Fairbanks. And once we got there, we crashed and woke up super early to get onto the Dalton highway to head further north.
Like any good adventure starts out, we're here at Walmart early in the morning, stocking up for our adventure here in Fairbanks, heading up north to go check out the Northern Lights. Jake's all excited. He's way more awake than I am this morning. It's early. Yeah, so Jake's over here filling up gas cans because we're heading up to Coldfoot and gas is like, what, Jake? $8 a gallon?
Probably about $8.
So if we can bring some gas with us, that's a good thing.
Yes.
So how much?
The only gas station from here is 250 miles up the road. So if you have any issues, you want to have a little extra gas with you.
So how much gas? You have like a bunch of cans right here?
We'll have 20 gallons of gas with us.
Plus what's in the truck.
Plus what's in the truck.
So we're about to head up the Dalton Highway, and there are so many warnings about driving on the Dalton Highway. So gotta know what you're doing. Luckily, I'm with an Alaskan who's done this before. This guy.
Josh, what exactly are you doing?
We're gonna live stream from the Yukon River next to the pipeline here, because that's what we do when two YouTubers hang out and we have things like Starlink available. We're gonna live stream with, you know, we'll try to make this happen here.
And what camera are you live streaming with here?
We're gonna try the R5 II with the USB-C. We'll see if this works. I've never tried this before. Not a green screen.
Everybody accuses me of green screening stuff too, and I'm like, no, it's not a green screen. Look.
Jake's gonna go over there, go to the bathroom. That'll prove it. So stopped right now at Finger Mountain, which is there's a finger-shaped rock back there. But Jake and I are being complete nerds and eating salads, and I couldn't be happier about it. Now we are crossing above the Arctic Circle. This is the most northern I've ever been by far in my life. This is absolutely, absolutely crazy, and the weather is perfect today. We're having a blast. So as we're driving, we just keep pulling off the road and seeing spots like this. Are you kidding me?
Canon stabilization just beats the pants off Sony. It is so much better.
So there's actually a moose and her baby out in the middle of this body of water over here. We're there's got some cool airplanes parked over here, but I'm gonna try to get down and get a shot of them. This is just absolutely amazing. I'm so pumped about this. So they're pretty far out there, and I just want to get a little bit tighter on them. I can put this in crop mode, but I have a 1.4 converter, which I like to use in situations like this, so I can still get full frame 4K on them. So I'm gonna give this a shot. CB radio. We're about 14 miles south of Coldfoot, and it's just amazing. The conditions just change constantly when you're out here driving. So let me flip that around here. They're actively repaving, regrading, what do we call this?
Regrading.
Regrading the road here, not paving, of course. So we're probably gonna have to hop this little ridge in the middle here that's being caused by the grader up there. Here we go.
So this is Coldfoot. This is the whole place right here. And then staying in this building over here. We're supposed to be very small, very simple, but you know, it kind of feels like we are at the end of the world because we kind of are up here. This is probably one of the craziest places I've been to in a very long time. Look at this view here. Absolutely incredible. Unfortunately, it is very cloudy and kind of raining a little bit. This would be even more epic, but wow, wow, wow. This is going to end our journey up the Dalton Highway. We are sort of in between Coldfoot and Dead Horse. Would be cool to drive further north. We're kind of out of time. We're still well over 100 miles outside of Dead Horse, so we're gonna head back to Coldfoot to try to do some astro and stuff tonight. The roads just seems endless up here. But anyways, we've sort of, you can see behind me here, the mountains. We've come out over this way, and over in this direction, heading further north, which is where the highway goes, is really the Arctic tundra. There's nothing up here. Trees can't grow up here. There's a little bit of stuff growing along the ground, but most of the year this is just completely covered in snow, and the landscape changes completely differently over here. And over behind me, some beautiful mountains, and over here we got the sun setting and some really nice looking stuff over here. So we're gonna head back down and see what happens.
So once we were back in Coldfoot, we got a late dinner. We were able to chill out a bit and check out the forecast before heading out. And once we were out shooting the Aurora, it was pretty cold and pretty late, but we had a great time out there using our Canon R5 Mark IIs. And luckily Jake had his Sony a7S III, so I was able to record a little bit of video, which is always really helpful to have that when it's really dark outside. But we were overall really impressed with the performance of the Canon R5 Mark IIs, and this was my first time ever shooting the Aurora, and it was truly a magical experience.
Breakfast in Coldfoot with this guy.
Breakfast of champions.
So, do the paintings here bother anybody else, or is it just me?
All those mirrors stay on, man. It's so bouncy.
I don't know, anything stays attached.
So this raven is hanging out right around us here looking for some snacks. Of course, we're not going to feed him, but he knows what's going on. Waiting for people to come by and feed him. He's cute. It's day 5 of this journey, and we're heading south from Coldfoot back down to Anchorage, and the colors, I feel like, are popping even more than they were yesterday. It is stunning out here. The weather has been great. We're getting this beautiful fall foliage. It doesn't last very long in Alaska, so I'm really enjoying it while I'm here. Timing was absolutely perfect. So we decided to get more salads because we like the last ones, but we doctored up this time with avocado.
Less of an epic location, though.
Yeah, this is not epic.
No.
No, but you got to do what you got to do
Salads are still
sometimes.
good.
Yeah, salads are good.
Yeah.
All right, so last day of my trip here, and Jake is trying to kill me. We've been running nonstop, and I'm definitely feeling a little under the weather today. But we're heading out to go look for some wildlife and to go check out a really unique town, so should be cool.
So we got some swans out here.
So the eagles were super cool on the way, but we're going to Whittier, and we have to drive through this tunnel.
Yeah.
So what's up with the tunnel?
So it's a 2.5 mile tunnel. It's the longest dual use tunnel in North America. So dual use is, it means it has railroad tracks and regular traffic that runs through it. So you basically drive on top of the railroad tracks through the tunnel.
And only one way at a time.
And only one way at a time. So it opens one direction every hour. So every hour it goes one direction, and then on the half hour it goes the other direction.
So we're trying to get there before we close this direction.
Yeah, and we have like 2 extra minutes.
Okay.
If, you know,
We got this.
we got it. It's fine. Totally fine. Hello.
Ever go to the tunnel before?
Yeah.
All right, link 2. Have a good day.
Awesome. Thanks. You too.
This is absolutely crazy. Yeah, we're driving through this tunnel. We're driving on the train tracks, like Jake just said, but this is very wild, very cool. Here in Whittier, most of the residents live in one building. This is called Begich Tower, and it's pretty interesting that most people live in the same building, but also there's underground tunnels that go to like town hall and school and stuff like that. And most people who come here are making videos about this. They always make a funny thumbnail. So I figured I'd do that and show you Begich Tower.
So as I stood here and took my last few shots of Alaska and really tried to soak it all in, I thought, man, I really don't want to leave here.
So this amazing trip has finally come to an end. I'm absolutely exhausted, but had an amazing time. I will be heading back to North Carolina tomorrow morning. So I'm here in Jake Sloan's studio, which is always so much fun to visit where other people live and work and all that sort of stuff and record in here. So if you haven't seen Jake's channel, please go over there and show Jake some support as well. You will not be disappointed. I'll leave that link down below. Also, huge thank you to B&H Photo, who sponsored this video and made this trip possible. So go show them some love and go check out what they have for sale. Again, affiliate links in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next one.